All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DMPSpeaks. I'm so glad to be in front of you on this wonderful Monday morning. Listen to me. It is a great morning. I know you're getting back to work, you're getting back to school, but let me remind you, every family deserves transformation, yours included. I don't care what's going on in your family right now. The more consistent you are, not with just working a job, but working what's going to work for your family will benefit sooner than later. I'll say it again, sooner than later. Your family will benefit from the consistency that you are doing, getting up every morning, doing what needs to be done, doing things that are necessary, even when you don't feel like it, for the betterment of your family. So with that, welcome to Family Morning Transformation. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. Listen to me. Without further ado, I think you know who I am by now, but for the ones that don't, I am a speaker. I am a board certified Christian counselor, and I'm a personal coach for families. So I help every individual in the family to make the family better. What we're going to talk about today is the topic, your kids will fail. I'll say it again, your kids will fail. Now, it might not be the most interesting topic that you've ever heard me do, but if you just pay attention to why I'm saying that your kids will fail, I'm going to tell you right now why they might fail. And I need you to share this. I need 10 people to share this morning. Now, why would your kids fail? Why would I even make a topic? It's not a trendy topic. It's just more than just an eye-catching. Your kids will fail. They will fall, right? Because they will disappoint you as the parent. Not only will they disappoint you, they will aggravate you. Believe me, they will aggravate you. They will hurt you. They will hurt your feelings. You could be doing something that is so great for them, but they will turn around and say that you haven't been doing anything. They will make you cry. They will help you shed some tears. If you got a problem and you can't cry, let your child disappoint you. Let them hurt you. You will find some tears. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You will find some tears. And at times, unfortunately, they will make you suffer. Because you love your child so much, they will do things that are contrary to what you believe in, what you stand on, how you've raised them. They will fall. They will fail. Your kids will fall or fail or both if you don't pay attention to these particular things I'm going to talk about this morning. I need you to share this. I have about 4 or 5 things that I really feel like you need to pay attention to for your kids won't fall or fail. They will, but they don't have to fall so hard. They'll fail, but they don't have to fail so hard at certain things. One of the first things I want to talk about is their demeanor. If you see that they are changing, yes, they're growing, right? But if you got a teenager, you got a young adult, and their demeanor has changed, their disposition is just changed. You got to be careful. You got to pay attention to these small things. Does that make sense? You got to pay attention to these small idiosyncrasies. If their demeanor, if they're not smiling, if they're not happy like they are, they're not excited about life, you got to pay attention to those things. You got to pay attention to what they're listening to. You got to pay attention what they're thinking. You got to pay attention where they are, right? And I'm not just talking about in a physical where they are, mentally where they are, emotionally where they are, right? Their demeanor. The next thing is their thoughts. If they're talking to you and their thoughts are off, and you know that this is not them, they're listening to someone. They're listening to someone on TikTok or Instagram or wherever. They're listening to something that is not helping them. It's hindering them, right? Their thoughts, and when they talk to you, it's not them, it's somebody else speaking through them. And we have to check those things. And not even just those things, we got to check those attitudes. We got to check those demonic forces that come to break your family down and to break your child down. Their decision making is the next thing. If their decision making is contrary to what you have taught them, right? And they're all over the place. They can't make decisions on their own. They just feel so helpless. You got to check that. Not check them, but you got to check where they get that information from. Check the source of where they got that from. Because if we don't, they will fall. They will fail. Their attitude, if their attitude is just nasty, they're talking to you any kind of way, they're being smart at their mouth any kind of way, and now you know that's not them. There has to be an anger. There has to be a root issue. There has to be a root cause of why they're acting like this all of a sudden, especially if it's all of a sudden. And you know they don't act like that, right? And their choices of friends, their choices of music sometimes. If it's dark and grim, man, where's that coming from? Why are you talking that way? Why are you speaking to me that way, right? Why are you not doing well in school? Why are you not hanging out with that particular friend anymore? Why are you not eating, right? And you tell me you're not sleeping. So what is going on? Because you don't want to, yes, let's be honest, some of our kids are going to fall, and we got to teach them when they fall, not to fall so hard. So that's why we're teaching them every single day. Don't do this. Don't try to do that. Don't try to be like somebody else. Be who you are. But it's a tough struggle when they don't know who they are, right? And because of their decision making, their choices, their thoughts, their demeanor, their attitude, we all have to really pay more attention to what our children are listening to, right? Now, we've said that for years, the music, but it's the lyrics that we got to really pay attention to, right? It's not just the friends. What are the friends involved in? What are their parents involved in? What are they allowing their children to do? Some of these kids are raising themselves. Listen to me, right? The Bible talks about that you have to talks about you paying attention before a fall. If you are not paying attention mentally and emotionally and spiritually, lest you fall, you will fall. Your children will fall. If we are not paying attention, they're already naive. They're already not where they need to be. But if we're allowing them to just keep going on the way that they're going to fall even harder. And it's going to take some time for them to get back up. They can get back up, but it's going to be a harder fall, right? And we can't miss out on these cues. We can't miss out on these mental and emotional cues. We can't miss out on these spiritual cues. We got to pay attention, because we got to help them not just survive. There's a moment in the season where they have when they're growing, they have to survive. But we want our children. I want your children to thrive. And you got to let them know, even though you failed and you have fallen, because I love you, I can't let you stay there. Because I care about you, I want to see you do well. Because I want to see you do well. It's a part of your life that you have failed in, but you don't have to fail in everything. There is better for you because they have a future. And you want your child to have a future, not a future of falling in the deep depths of depression and anxiety. You want them to live a better life. But we don't tell our children enough that we love them, that we care for them, that they have a future. You got to speak those things as though they are, but you got to be able to speak that into your child's life more often, because of the generation that we see around us now. They're living in such this despair. They're living in such just low, they say energy. They don't have no energy. They're just barely making it every day. So many kids that I see that I work with, so many families that I'm going to be working with. I sense that for a lot of families right now have children and teens and young adults that feel like they're just here. But it's more about just being present. It's about living a life that is full. So as they go and they grow, that fullness becomes how can I put it that you'll understand? See, being full of life, that means you have so much to give life to others, information, right? Everybody has a purpose. So as they get older, that fullness, it starts to decrease, not in a bad way, but they're giving so much to the world. But if they're starting out in a deficit, if they're starting out not having much because they have fallen, what can they give their community? What can they give their own families? What can they give this whole world by the gift that God has given them? So as they get older into their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, they should be able to leave this earth empty because they have fulfilled everything that God has asked them and commissioned them to do. And it sounds so deep, but it's not deep. It's about paying attention and being aware that your family will thrive, but your child will not thrive unless you pay attention to their decisions, their choices, their demeanor, their decision making, their attitude, and their disposition. We start paying attention to what's really, really going on and not being surfacey, but really being and paying attention and being prayerful and asking God, how can I parent better? My child, your child will be just fine because God always has a plan, but you got to get on his plan to see your family thrive. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Listen, this is a great one. I believe it's going to help you and your family do better. And let me say this to you, your family is not done. I'll say it again. Your family is not done. I love you all. Check me out on Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another family transformation program. And listen to me. Every family deserves transformation. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.